Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English with Emily and George. We're so happy you're here with us today. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever wanted to say no to someone but didn't know how to say it politely? Maybe your boss asked you to take on extra work, your friend invited you somewhere when you were busy, or a colleague asked for help when you simply didn't have time. Many English learners know the word no, but they don't always know how to refuse politely and professionally.
That's absolutely true. In fact, saying no is one of the most important communication skills you can develop. The problem is that many people think saying no automatically sounds rude, but that's not true at all. Native English speakers say no every day. The secret is not avoiding the word no. The secret is learning how to communicate your refusal in a respectful and professional way.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to learn today. We're going to explore 5 professional ways to say no in English. These are expressions you can use in the workplace, during business meetings, with clients, with coworkers, and even in everyday conversations.
We'll also look at common mistakes, real-life examples, and practice activities, so that by the end of this lesson, you'll feel much more confident when you need to decline a request, reject an invitation, or set boundaries professionally. Before we begin, tell us in the comments, do you find it difficult to say no in English? And what situations are the hardest for you? At work, with friends, or maybe with family? And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to English with Emily and George for more practical English lessons every week.
All right, let's begin with our first professional way to say no.
Let's get started. Our first expression is one of the most common and professional ways to refuse a request. The phrase is, "I'm afraid I can't." Now, this can be confusing because the word afraid usually means scared. But in this expression, it doesn't mean you're frightened. It's simply a polite way to introduce disappointing news. Exactly. Native speakers use this phrase all the time. Imagine your manager asks, "Can you stay late tonight and finish this report?" Instead of saying, "No, I can't," you could say, "I'm afraid I can't stay late tonight because I already have another commitment." Notice how much softer and more professional that sounds. You're still refusing, but you're doing it respectfully. Here's another example. A colleague asks, "Can you cover my shift tomorrow?" You could reply, "I'm afraid I can't."
I already have plans tomorrow.
Let's look at another situation. Imagine a client asks for a project to be completed in 2 days, but realistically, you need a week.
You might say, "I'm afraid we can't complete the project within 2 days, but we can have it ready by next Friday."
That's a great example because it not only says no, but also provides an alternative.
And that's something professionals often do. They don't just reject a request, they try to offer another solution whenever possible.
Here's a quick tip. After saying, "I'm afraid I can't," keep your explanation short. You don't need to tell your entire life story.
Absolutely. One clear reason is usually enough.
Let's practice. Imagine someone asks you to join a meeting tomorrow morning, but you're busy. How would you answer?
You could say, "I'm afraid I can't attend the meeting because I already have another appointment scheduled."
Excellent. Try creating your own sentence using this phrase and write it in the comments. Great job. Let's move on to our second professional expression. Our second expression is perfect for invitations and social situations. The phrase is, "I'd love to, but..."
This expression is wonderful because it starts with something positive. Before saying no, you're showing appreciation for the invitation or opportunity.
For example, imagine a friend says, "Would you like to come to dinner with us tonight?"
Instead of saying, "No, I can't," you could say, "I'd love to, but I already have plans tonight."
That sounds much warmer and friendlier.
Here's another example. Your coworkers invite you to lunch after work. You could say, "I'd love to, but I need to finish a project before tomorrow."
The beauty of this phrase is that it makes people feel appreciated. They know that you're declining because of circumstances, not because you don't want to spend time with them.
Exactly. It's a great phrase for maintaining good relationships.
Let's compare 2 answers. Answer 1, "No, I can't come." Answer 2, "I'd love to, but I already have another commitment scheduled."
The second answer sounds much more polite and natural.
Here's another situation.
Imagine someone offers you a job position that isn't right for your career goals. You could say, I'd love to accept the offer, but I've decided to pursue a different opportunity. Very professional. Let's do a quick practice activity. Imagine a friend invites you on a weekend trip, but you're busy. Start your answer with, I'd love to, but. Say your answer out loud and practice sounding natural. And if you'd like, share your answer in the comments. Excellent work. Let's move to our third professional way.
Now we're entering more formal and professional territory. The phrase is, unfortunately, that won't be possible.
This expression is very common in business communication, customer service, management roles, and professional emails.
Let's imagine a customer asks for a service that your company doesn't provide.
You could say, unfortunately, that won't be possible today, but we can recommend another service that may help.
Notice how the answer remains polite while still being firm.
Notice how the answer remains polite while still being firm.
Here's another workplace example. Your manager asks if a major project can be completed tomorrow, but you know the deadline is unrealistic.
You might say, unfortunately, that won't be possible today because additional testing is required before delivery.
This phrase sounds professional because it focuses on the situation rather than the person.
Exactly. You're not rejecting the individual, you're explaining that the request itself isn't possible.
Here's another useful tip. Whenever possible, follow this phrase with an alternative solution.
For example, unfortunately, that won't be possible today, but we can schedule it for next week.
That makes the conversation more productive.
And people usually respond better when they hear an alternative instead of a simple rejection.
Let's practice.
Imagine a client wants a meeting at a time you're unavailable. You could say, unfortunately, that won't be possible tomorrow afternoon, but I'd be happy to meet on Thursday morning. Excellent example. Remember, professionalism is often about offering solutions, not just identifying problems.
Our fourth professional expression is, I appreciate the offer, but.
This is one of the most respectful ways to decline something because it shows gratitude before giving your answer.
Imagine someone offers you a new position in their company.
You could say, I appreciate the offer, but I've decided to stay in my current role.
That's polite, respectful, and professional.
Here's another example. Someone invites you to speak at an event, but you're unavailable. You might say, I appreciate the offer, but I won't be available on that date.
This phrase works particularly well in professional emails.
Absolutely. In fact, many business emails begin with appreciation before delivering bad news.
Let's look at another example. I appreciate the invitation, but I already have another commitment.
Very natural and polite.
Here's a practical tip. Gratitude makes refusals easier to accept. People feel respected when they know their offer or invitation is valued. Let's do a quick challenge. Think of a recent invitation or opportunity you had to decline.
Now create a sentence beginning with, I appreciate the offer, but...
Say it out loud.
And if you'd like, share it in the comments.
Our fifth and final professional expression is simple but extremely useful. The phrase is, I won't be able to.
This is one of the most common ways native speakers politely decline requests.
For example, I won't be able to attend the meeting tomorrow.
Or, I won't be able to finish the report by Friday.
Notice that this expression sounds professional without being overly formal.
Exactly. It works in almost every situation.
Imagine your friend asks if you can help them move this weekend.
You could say, I won't be able to help this weekend because I'll be out of town. Here's another example from the workplace. I won't be able to take on another project at the moment because my schedule is already full. That's a clear and professional way to set boundaries. One reason this phrase is so effective is that it focuses on ability rather than willingness. That's right, it sounds less personal and more practical. Practice this phrase in different situations, and you'll find yourself using it very naturally. It's definitely one of the most useful expressions in today's lesson.
Now let's talk about some common mistakes learners make when saying no.
Mistake number 1 is being too direct.
Simply saying no can sound abrupt in many situations.
Mistake number 2 is apologizing too much.
One apology is enough. You don't need to say sorry 5 times.
Mistake number 3 is giving extremely long explanations.
Keep your reasons short, clear, and professional.
Mistake number 4 is saying yes when you really mean no.
That often creates more problems later.
Remember, honesty and politeness can exist together.
Let's practice together. Situation 1. Your coworker asks for help, but you're busy. What would you say?
I'm afraid I can't because I'm working on another deadline.
Excellent. Situation 2. Your friend invites you to dinner.
I'd love to, but I already have plans.
Perfect. Situation 3. A client requests something impossible.
Unfortunately, that won't be possible, but we can offer an alternative.
Very professional. Keep practicing these phrases until they feel natural.
Today we learned 5 professional ways to say no in English without sounding rude.
Let's quickly review them. I'm afraid I can't. I'd love to, but unfortunately, that won't be possible. I appreciate the offer, but, and I won't be able to. These are phrases that native speakers use every day in workplaces, meetings, emails, and everyday conversations. The key is to be respectful, clear, and confident. Remember, saying no doesn't make you rude. It simply means you're communicating honestly and professionally.
Tell us in the comments, which of today's 5 expressions do you think you'll use the most?
And if you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to English with Emily and George. Thank you so much for learning with us today. Keep practicing, keep improving, and see you next time.